Imagine watching a game of World Cup, but this time it goes different. It's the match between Côte d'Ivoire and Ecuador. Côte d'Ivoire team has the ball, advances on Ecuador. It's 3 versus 5. The ball passes to Amad Diallo and... Every live broadcast, every TV and every station that streams live World Cup directly from FIFA is suddenly interrupted. With what exactly, that may differ. Maybe it's just a rickroll, maybe it's a message from state-sponsored hackers, maybe...
Oh shit, I'm sorry.
Sorry for what? Our daddy taught us not to be ashamed of our dicks.
For some viewers of the match, it may go on like that for a few seconds. For some, it may be whole minutes, but every stream is universally panicking. They each check if the problem is at their end. Did some of their employees make a programming mistake? Did they get hacked? As they each refresh access to the FIFA stream, nothing happens. It doesn't go back to the match, it shows the same rickroll video as before. It's not really a full panic mode yet. Each match has multiple camera feeds. Maybe there's a problem with one, but others might still work, so let's just try switching to another. They try them one by one, and they see that they're all hijacked the same way. The source of the problem is clear now. It must be FIFA. This doesn't fix it, but it's a start. Now FIFA officials start getting cold. They don't know why this happened, but they are trying to fix it. Something must have went wrong with FIFA's streaming platform, so that's where they go to take a look. They see that somebody replaced the camera feed from the active match with a video of someone else. So they shut down the original feed and make a new URL. They feed it to the FIFA's broadcast chain, and the live match resumes for all TV networks streaming it. It works for a few minutes. Then it happens again. The match changes to another rickroll, pranking millions around the world for the second time.
Fool me once. Shame on you.
At this point, FIFA realizes something major went seriously wrong, so they just shut down the live feed for good, issue a quick apology, and report on the match in text. The next several hours, FIFA officials spend scrambling for answers. They probably don't have a dedicated security team for this, so they have to hire cybersecurity engineers to find what's causing this. The clock is ticking. They need to fix this before the next match, otherwise they face losing millions in revenue. What none of the FIFA officials realize is that a hacker was able to access their entire streaming platform and feed whatever the hacker wanted into the broadcast pipeline of every TV network streaming World Cup. If you watched World Cup and didn't notice anything like this, that's because you got lucky. The hacker that got access to FIFA's streaming platform wasn't part of a state-sponsored group. They weren't part of an extort ring. They weren't malicious in any way, not even a troll. The hacker who took control of the World Cup streaming was an ethical hacker, a white hat, someone who does have the skills of an advanced ring, but hacks with different intentions. To do it before the unethical hackers, the black hats, do. So that when the ethical hacker finds a vulnerability, they report it to the developers so that they can fix it. That's what a hacker by the handle of Bob the Hacker did. Living in Tokyo, Bob the Hacker could have rickrolled the entire live FIFA World Cup, all just by signing up for becoming a licensed football agent. It only took a couple of attempts, but once she got accepted, Bob the Hacker registered an account on agents.fifa.org, FIFA's official agent platform. What she didn't know was that once you register for the agent platform, FIFA adds your account to their Microsoft Entry tenant, which handles all of FIFA's internal platforms. The streaming panel, the match management, advanced analytics, commentator information system, FIFA AI Pro, and even administration. All of it under one roof. That is not supposed to be accessible like that. Each of those panels is meant to be managed by specific individuals that have been authorized with a role. And at first, it looked like that was the case, that it was secure against unauthorized access. When Bob the Hacker tried to access panels outside of their role, she would simply be denied access by the app, the client. But simply going around this client-side safeguard would allow Bob the Hacker to access whatever they were asking for with no further authentication checks at the backend. And the first thing Bob the Hacker landed on was the streaming management panel. It looks like this. You can see every match, every camera angle with related URLs and stream keys. Expanding on a match would give you 5 camera feeds with exact URLs and a stream key embedded in those URLs. It'll be one stream key for all cameras for the same match. To check if this was real, Bob the Hacker copied one of the stream feeds into the VLC media player. Bingo. There it was, a tactical camera angle from a live match of Côte d'Ivoire versus Ecuador. At this point, Bob the Hacker could have started, rescheduled, or stopped any of the camera angles from any match across all stadiums on the World Cup. One click, and it would happen. All of these feeds were going directly through FIFA's broadcast pipeline. Anyone, Bob the Hacker including, could have replaced the camera feeds with whatever they wanted and stream it live. Even if Bob the Hacker didn't have any intention of using this themselves, they could have made money on dark markets where people would be willing to pay for this kind of vulnerability. Just to cause a disruption, economic damage, or just to send the message. Someone like the Iranian hackers perhaps, or Russian trolls, might have been very eager to jump on that opportunity. Or just any random bored teenagers. There is a real market for this. It's not just in the illegal corners of the darknet. There are legitimate companies called zero-day brokers that specialize on this. They simply offer rewards to anyone who finds a critical vulnerability in a system. Any system. An app, a messenger, a website, an operating system, anything with value, customers, and data. FIFA is a valuable target because it's hosting such a big sporting event, but it also has a lot of personal data. Bob the Hacker told me that another hacker was able to access internal FIFA resources, exposing email addresses and full names of all FIFA employees and their partners. If that doesn't sound like a big deal, you have to realize that this is a critical stepping point to plan further attacks on the organization. Knowing a full list of employees and partner companies gives malicious hackers inside information to try to social engineer high-ranking FIFA officials and conduct further attacks on their network. This is another one of those things hacker groups around the world are willing to pay money for. In case of Bob the Hacker's hack, the vulnerability was actually quite simple. Anyone with a no-roles account was erroneously able to access everything, which is the exact opposite of what no-roles was meant to do. Bob the Hacker could access real-time match analytics like possession control or ball recovery. She could have changed live stats and updates like she was editing a WordPress document. And she could have even trolled broadcast commentators by modifying their editorial notes. Hell, even the development environment was left exposed. And who the fuck is Debbie? Instead of doing any of that, which would have been an epic meme of historic proportions, Bob the Hacker decided to responsibly report this vulnerability. But that turned out to be a nightmare of its own. The first attempt was to email FIFA, but FIFA doesn't have any official vulnerability disclosure contact, so Bob the Hacker just emailed all of them. 5 of them didn't work at all, and none of them responded. So the second attempt was to find FIFA's head of football technology and data. That's Sebastian Runge, and luckily his phone number was listed on LinkedIn. Bob the Hacker tried to WhatsApp him, but got no response. Then it was up to the FIFA HQ phone line, which was closed. Then FIFA Media line, which was also closed. Then the Dallas Convention Center. Then finally MediaKind, FIFA's streaming technology partner. They did respond, asked for an email with all the details, and then nothing happened. Bob the Hacker then called Host Broadcast Services and even their parent company, but they said there was no one that could help her. So the last attempt was to contact the feds. That's when Bob the Hacker called the US Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency and messaged the FBI on Signal. Both of these picked up, listened, and responded. The next day, the vulnerability was fixed. The no-roles hole was closed. FIFA never responded, never acknowledged Bob the Hacker, nor did they reward them for their effort. Not just for finding a vulnerability, but also spending a full day trying to report it. An organization like FIFA, with its size, outreach, and multi-billion-dollar revenues, should have had a bug bounty program for situations like this. They should have proper channels for ethical hackers to contact them. They should incentivize benevolent efforts with compensation. But that's the thing. If you spend money on cybersecurity, nothing happens. The app managerial class doesn't understand this, so they don't spend money on security until there is a breach. Which is a lesson for you. You can't trust companies with your data. They are not incentivized to protect it, and that comes with a price. Cyber warfare is a rapidly escalating tactic. It's a whole arms race between key geopolitical powers and regional powers alike. China, Israel, Iran, Russia, US, UK, they are all pushing the boundaries in cyber attacks as there is no common cyber weapon proliferation treaty, which means everything goes. FIFA got incredibly lucky in this instance. Organizations without proper cybersecurity will be targets of sabotage, espionage, and other forms of offense, and you will be caught in the crossfire. Support me on patreon.com/thehatedone and join my podcast for hundreds of hours of exclusive content. My channel cannot exist without your support.